Marlins continues to impress. 8 runs on 14 hits last night in Pittsburgh, averaging a ridiculous 6.1 runs per game this season. Expect another strong performance on a warm night at hitter-friendly PNC Park. Roberto Clemente Bridge. Everybody wants to say hi to Ryan Zimmerman on their way to PNC Park. What surprises, what adventures await us tonight with this Nationals offense, and a lot of folks rooting for the visiting team. Great to see all of them. It looks like Ryan Zimmerman jersey night in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Bob and FP. The Nats offense really is the talk of baseball. They're leading in almost every category that's meaningful, and it's become a pleasure to watch these guys night after night. And last night, it was the first 4 guys.
Yeah, I mean, they've been so good this year. Everybody asking me, why are the games so long this year, FP? I say because they have the best offense in baseball. They're averaging 6.1 runs a game, the best in the big leagues. And look at what the top of the order did last night. Trey Turner doing his thing with a couple of hits. Jason Worth playing like he's 27 with 3 hits last night. Bryce Harper hit a miss lot here. One of the hardest line drive home runs a left-handers hit this year. And Ryan Zimmerman's been doing his thing. He went 2 for 5 last night, and his average stayed right at 385. Most guys go 2 for 5. Their average goes up.
And oh yeah, there's a number 5 guy back in the lineup tonight behind them by the name of Murphy. Let's talk about Jacob Turner. 1 start for the Nats in his debut. That was at Colorado, so he's on the road again. Been in the bullpen ever since. He's got a great arm, and we, of course, love to see him attack hitters.
Yeah, Dusty likes that the most about Jacob Turner. The way he throws strike one, the way he gets ahead of hitters. Look for that here again tonight from the big right-hander.
Jacob Turner trying to make a bid to be that number 5 starter that the Nats will eventually lead. Yeah, here's that other Turner guy. He's doing it all. Look at his performance in Nationals Park over the weekend. 103 chances. He's handled 102 of them perfectly. 990 fielding percentage. We know what a good leadoff guy is. He's becoming a top-notch big league shortstop. Against the rail. They can't wait to see their offense get to work here in the top of the first. Nats Pirates game 2. Humidity down. Feels muggier than 36, but it's 87 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies. Things looking pretty sunny and bright and clear for this offense. Anthony Rendon, 358 his last 14 games slugging, and he remains one of the better hitters in the National League. 395 with runners in scoring position. Garrett Cole, 5th career start against the Nats. 2-1 with a pretty good ERA. 1-0 here. First pitch. Low and away. We're underway at 7:05. Night start. League hitting .230 against him. Counts even.
Yeah, the last 6 starts he's posted an ERA of 2.08, and he's held opponents to a 197 average against, just 28 for 142. His command has been fantastic this year. 47 strikeouts versus just 10 walks in 50 innings. His fastball has averaged 96.3 miles an hour. So power and command from Garrett Cole. Hits are going to be tough to come by tonight.
Yeah, and his biggest problem, something he can't do anything about, run support. 2-1 pitch. Trey Turner, a great take. Trey's been on base 19 of his last 22 games in which he's had an AB. Steps in at 254. 3-1. And he goes to right. Ball's got some carry on it. It'll back up John Jaso.
A defense for the Buccos tonight behind Garrett Cole, Frazier, McCutchen, Jaso the outfield, Mercer, Freeze left side.
And that's Mr. Ngope.
Thank you. And Bell right base. Side. Francisco Cervelli behind the plate.
Paid a little visit to the Pirates broadcast booths, and it's got more syllables in that. It's got some nuances of the South African language to it, but he wants to be called Gift Ngope. There you go.
You know, I rehearsed it about 5 times before the game, and I just locked up like a 3-2 changeup.
Yeah. I was talking to Joe Block, who's on TV with Steve Blass tonight, and asked him how Steve's doing on that name. He waved me off. Hey, leave that to the play-by-play guys.
Well, you got a bruise on your right hand for me hitting you right there while I paused. Sorry.
0-2. It's a great story. Just a kid out there. And here's Jason Worth, who has a 9-game on-base streak going. 0 for 6 career. And this will be out of play to the right side. 6th year in the big leagues for the home plate umpire, Jordan Baker. Milwaukee, Bruce Dreckman. There's the crew chief over at third, Mike Everett. 22nd year. Up and in to Jason, who, by the way, broke into a couple of categories today. 9th in the league at on-base percentage at .414. And on the road, he's 5th best in the league now, hitting .375. A lot of that damage in the state of Pennsylvania. Now that was an emergency hack.
It's a good foul ball.
Should see some good pitches with that man waiting. Bryce came within about 5 feet of elevation of lining one into the river here last night. 1-2 to Worth. Off speed, gets around it. Backhanded pickup on a hop. David Freeze, 2 outs.
So this is the one you're talking about last night?
Maybe.
Home run number 13 for Bryce Harper. A low tracer out of here. It was the hardest hit home run by a left-hander this year. We got some cool stat cast to show you later. We just don't have time right now. On the launch angle, the elevation, the time it took to get out, and the curvature of the earth. We got everything coming at you.
And a guy with a Harper jersey got the souvenir up there in the last row. 427 his last 24 games. 439 on the road, the best in baseball. Up there hacking against Cole. And Bryce has had some success. 3 for 8.
I mean, you got 2 guys hitting back-to-back with 13 home runs. That's impressive by itself, but the fact that they're both flirting with 400 on top of that is ridiculous.
Yeah, 388, and the other guy hitting 385. Cole obviously pitching Bryce away. Game notes for you. Look at the OPS so far. Second all time. I mean, look at the names. Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, come on, the 27 Yankees. Everybody knows about that murderer's row. There are 13 guys with 46 hits or more. Nats have 3 of them.
Crazy.
Garrett Cole, pretty efficient early in the count. Did Harper go? No. Pirates were heading for their dugout, and the inning stays alive.
Check it out from the side. Did he go? Ooh,
I think he did.
Might have caught a break. That's why Francisco Cervelli was halfway back to the Pirates dugout. Take it.
Well, if he hits one out of the park now, they'll really be upset when they see that replay. Or if he keeps the inning going, for Zimmerman to do something. Harper to the right side into the shift, and that's Ngope. And the Nats go 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning. Nationals baseball on Masson, brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. By visitannapolis.org. Create your moment at visitannapolis.org. And by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. We're going to the bottom of the first inning. Nats win 1-2-3. Jacob Turner, one game started career against the Pirates. That was as a Cub 2 years ago at Wrigley Field, and here's the lineup he faces as we focus in on Josh Bell. 257 in April, but only 224 in May. But he's up among the best offensive rookies in the National League. Turner's first pitch coming. Nice heater right in there.
Strike one key for Jacob Turner all night, like it is for most pitchers. Last start was on April 24th against the Rockies in Colorado. Went 6 strong, gave up just 3 runs. 6 hits that night, struck out 6 Rockies and walked nobody. 84 pitches, 59 strikes. Last appearance was on the 14th against the Phillies, 2/3 of an inning, gave up a run and a hit.
Only 4 Pirates in the lineup have ever faced him before. First time for Adam Frazier, and a bouncer out to second. Daniel Murphy back in the lineup, and he gets a touch right away.
So Brian Goodwin getting the start in center field tonight. Jose Lobaton getting the start behind the plate. Everything else standard. Jose Lobaton, big smile on his face. Dusty Baker said early game tomorrow. Matt Wieters will catch that one and probably get all the games in Atlanta. So he wanted to get Jose Lobaton the start tonight, and he's most familiar with Jacob Turner.
There's John Jaso, the right fielder. Last night batted cleanup, doubled his first time, went 1 for 4 in the number 2 hole tonight, with Josh Harrison having the night off. Jaso 0 for 1 career against Jacob Turner. Hot shot, Zimmerman picks it. A little longer than a short hop. Great soft hands by Ryan. 2 down.
Maybe we get some StatCast on the hit speed here. This ball was smoked. Ryan Zimmerman, never a problem with the backhand. Had third, first, wherever you put him. Good ready position. See that little hop right before the pitch? For you young infielders, that's a good ready position. It gets you on your toes, and now you're ready for the baseball. He wasn't flat-footed on the balls of his feet, and he picked a 104-mile-an-hour one-hopper. Soft hands, nice play.
Breaking ball right in there. Ball 1 to Andrew McCutchen. Must have been high. Andrew McCutchen trying to drop one into left field. Trey Turner not able to run it down. Probably gets as close to that as any shortstop in baseball. And Andrew McCutchen has his first base hit in the 5th at bat for him in this series.
I think Trey had a beat on him, then he looked for Jason Worth, and when he looked at Worth, maybe lost a step. Watch him peek at Jason Worth right there. And then he looks for the ball again, and it's just too late. He knew Jason wasn't going to get it, but he wanted to make sure he wasn't going to crash. So he checked where his left fielder was before he went all out. And that's really all you could do on that. Pretty good effort by Trey Turner. And that's baseball, right? John Jaso hits a bullet. Andrew McCutchen gets jammed. One gets a hit, one doesn't.
Brutal. Ooh, that was close. David Freese, 11 bats off the DL, 1 hit during that time. Against Turner, 1 for 4 with a base on balls.
McCutchen's inching, isn't he?
Yeah, he's looking raring to go over there. Pirates 17 steals, but they've been caught 17 times. McCutchen 3 for 4.
He's trying to keep that momentum by keeping his feet moving. Trying to time it up. Look at that. Happy feet.
Hasn't run much in recent years. 6 times all of last year stealing a base, but caught 7 times. And 11 out of 16 the year before that. So he has 163 steals, but most of that the first 2-3 years of his career. Freeze out to short. Turner to his left, and the ball falls out of the webbing of his glove. And they're going to give him his 2nd error of the year on that play.
I don't know. He had to go a long way to his left there. I mean, he made some sparkling plays last night. They did give us an error, didn't they? Huh. Well, if I'm David Freese, I'm not real happy about that call. I mean, he went, what, 6-7 steps to his left up the middle?
Ball hit sharply. Never came up for Trey, hugging the ground the whole way. 2 on, 2 out. First baseman Josh Bell.
I'm being told he covered 48 feet right there. Maybe we should run over there and tell the guy that gave him an error that.
And a longtime friend, Jimmy Tredinich, is the director of media relations here for the Pirates. There may be some lobbying for their own guy to get a hit over in that press box here. Won't be shocked if that one gets changed. So here's Josh Bell at 244. One for 4 with an opposite field double late in the game last night. Looks like kind of a tight strike zone so far from Jordan Baker. 2 balls, no strikes. Bell leads the Pirates in home runs with 7. Good fastball to the outside edge.
Tried to frame it in there, didn't he? Nicely.
A little bit tardy for 95, and the count's even. 2-2. Cody Bellinger of the Dodgers. Hunter Renfroe, Padres. Who are these young Dodgers hitting homers? Andrew Tolles.
Hunter Renfroe sounds like he plays for the Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, what's up with all these West Coast sluggers as rookies? I thought the ballparks were hard to hit them out of out there.
No.
Now the count's full, 3-2.
Pretty close. Top of the zone. What do you got, pitch cast guy?
Looks to me like there's not a whole lot of high-low to Jordan Baker's strike zone. Maybe a little more horizontal.
Well, he's 6'6". There should be some height to it.
Yeah, it should be. Runners going, and that's strike 3. Josh Bell taking a pitch on the inside edge as Jacob Turner goes painting. Ryan Zimmerman, Murphy, and Rendon to follow.
Cold one. Look forward to Miller time later in the ball game. That's brought to you by Miller Lite.
There he is, Ryan Zimmerman. Leads all of baseball in multi-hit games with 18. It's only part of the story. Numbers brought to you by Jeep. So the 2 through 5 hitters, and in this case, Worth, Harper, Zimmerman, Murphy, hitting mid-350s, on base percentage, slugging 40 of the Nats, 62 home runs, 94 extra base hits.
Combined 355.
Crazy.
Combined. It's nuts. Murph's back.
Ryan 0 for 3 career against Garrett Cole. Outfield around to the right. That's kind of the way the foul ball goes.
We can see the game plan by Nats hitters tonight. Garrett Cole throwing a lot of first pitch strikes. We showed you, what, 67% of the time. Just 10 walks in 50 innings this year. He's got strikeout stuff. All those reasons why you go packing.
Fastball runs in there. Cole first inning, 15 pitches, 10 strikes. Career, he's 48 and 34, making his 103rd start tonight.
We're going to show you all kinds of neat graphics and stats about the offense tonight. There's one and only one you need to know. The Nats are up by 9 games, and it's May 17th. 9 games.
Yeah. By the way, the Mets just got walked off by Arizona in extra innings. So 9 over Atlanta, 9.5 over New York. They've dropped 7 straight.
Do you know how hard it is to have a 9-game lead a month and a half into the season? That's the only stat you need to remember tonight.
1-2 pitch. Out to short. Cole had Zimmerman reaching. So in terms of the standings, the Nationals' launch angle has been outstanding so far.
Exit velocity is more important in a month and a half. They have tremendous exit velocity.
Phillies at Texas again tonight. Marlins got shut out today.
That's nuts. I mean, that's what you usually see from a 100-win team in September, not May 17th.
Yeah, now the Nats lead is a little bit bigger than Houston's in the AL West. They just got finished sweeping the Marlins.
And
big curveball into Daniel Murphy.
Carp, you know I don't look at stats until around the All-Star break, or standings until around the All-Star break, but that just jumps out at you like, whoa.
One. A lot of talent in that dugout. Facing a good pitcher tonight, Garrett Cole looks on his game. Murphy to the upper deck. It's 1-2. So Daniel, 328 his last 18 games. His 317 batting average, along with Jason Worth's 316, just out of the top 10. And he skies one out to center. Andrew McCutchen. Took a while to come down. That's 5 in a row.
Enjoy all-inclusive brunch on the field at Nats Park with Brunch on the Baselines, presented by Budweiser. I'm all over this. Sunday, June 18th from noon to 4 p.m. Enjoy a Bloody Mary bar, mimosas, gourmet spread featuring several of your brunch favorites. Visit nationals.com/brunch for tickets and details. Brunch on the Baselines.
Yeah.
That is a good idea.
And I'm assuming they'll be watching the Nationals at Citi Field that day.
Couple of mimosas, Bloody Marys. Just don't try to run the bases.
Or try to do it in a straight line.
Yeah.
Anthony Rendon 3 for 8 with a career RBI against Cole. Good command so far, but he's 2-0 here. '26-year-old right-hander. Originally drafted by the Yankees out of high school. Then he went to UCLA. Pirates took him in the first round. In 11, 3 years after the Yankees made a run at him. Two-one pitch. Rendon not even biting on that one. Another guy doing well on the road, Anthony, 277 overall. Good eye. Nats have their first base runner. Rendon walks for the 21st time. Mercedes-Benz will pitch cast it.
Pretty close, right? Everything away to Anthony, and that one just pulled a little bit outside. Pretty close.
Here's Brian Goodwin. 8th game, 2 for 9 with an RBI. They respect his speed. His freeze well off the bag at third does play in the baseline. Strike call.
Last 5 Garrett Cole starts, the Pirates have scored 5 runs total for him while he's on the mound. He's got 1.98 runs of support this season. So Nats put up a couple of runs tonight. They got a good chance.
And Goodwin high in the air. Short left center. Mercer. And then he'll be called off by Adam Frazier. 2 good innings by Garrett Cole with only a walk. Time for a stroll and some early game treats. have a VW moment for you. Remember that swing? That's Darryl Ward 4 years before he would play for the Nationals. Houston Astro behind the boat. There's the splash. The first guy ever to do it at this ballpark.
Little side note, that guy that went in the water went on to grow a third arm.
In 06, Darryl Ward would go on to hit 6 homers and drive in 19. Garrett Jones of the Pirates. Pedro Alvarez, that guy could hack.
Bryce is going to do it. I'm calling it right now.
Bottom of the second inning. Here's Francisco Cervelli on the edge. He was out a few games ago, had a 6-game hitting streak going. One for his last 14 now. Facing Jacob Turner for the first time, and Jacob first inning. 16 pitches, 9 strikes. Lobaton sets up out there again. That's where the strikes are. That one a little further out, 1-1. Just under 17,000 here last night. Maybe a few more here this evening. A little bit away. Beautiful ballpark. Opened in 01, seats just over 38,000. Two-one pitch. Low. Wow. Kind of like ball 4 to Anthony Rendon a moment ago. Let's check it on the Nissan PitchCast. Leadoff walk.
Very hitter-friendly zone tonight. I mean, look at all those pitches. There's 3 inside the box, and that was a walk.
You know, they talk about hitters making adjustments. I don't know how pitchers do that after they make some really great pitches early in the game and they don't get the call. I guess you just hope that you have good enough command and the umpire starts, as you say, hunting strikes with you.
I think if you establish that you're going to stay out there consistently, they have to give in, or else they start thinking we're going to be here for 5 hours, and no home plate umpire likes a long game. So what happens a lot of times is umps will have a tight zone early and loosen it up late because they start looking at the clock and they don't want to be there that long. Truth.
Jordan Baker, 6th year in the big leagues. Jordy Mercer hitting 206. This ball skied out into center field for Brian Goodwin. Purchase your White House Historical Association membership. Do it right now. It's a $150 value for only $50. If you sign up in the month of May, you'll get 2 tickets to a Nationals game. Now listen, this is a good deal. 2 tickets to a game, 2017 White House Christmas ornament, and a limited edition custom designed New Era Nationals ball cap. Go to whha.org/nets.
That's a long one. Nice job.
Slider low and away.
Promos by Tolstoy.
So here he is, Gift and Gopay, 19 years of age, from Johannesburg. Signed with the Pirates at the age of 17 just last year, and finds himself in the big leagues after really only 1 full season, if you call it that, in the minors. He's now 9 for 37 with that base hit.
Well, I'm told he can really pick it. A plus defender, so we'll keep an eye on him at second base tonight. But pretty good swing too. Reminds me of Andrew McCutchen a little bit. The foot down early, the follow through. Nice swing, good story. Paid his dues. You always root for guys like that.
Yep. Yeah, some of those facts I was giving you were about his brother, who's also trying to get things done at the professional level. So the 27-year-old with a base hit. He's been hearing from people from all over the world making it to the big leagues. Garrett Cole, that one is popped up to the screen. Cole, one sacrifice this year, swinging the bat 2 for 13, but he can hack. 176 career hitter with a couple of home runs. Foul tip.
That's where you can really help yourself out as a pitcher, right? Second, third, 2 outs. Get the bunt down, set the table for a 300 hitter coming up. It's a big at bat for Garrett Cole and the Pirates. He's having trouble with run support. He can help himself out right here.
Rendon creeping in at third. Zimmerman the same. He's going to pop it up. Easy for Turner. Turned around, but really no place to throw it.
Well, he dropped that. It's a double play, maybe a triple play. Well, there's 1 out, so it would have been a double play. But watch Garrett Cole. He doesn't run. So if you let this drop, you could throw it to second and then throw it to first. Cole doesn't go anywhere. Those are ones that are automatic drops. It takes communication. But when the pitcher doesn't run, let that thing hit softly, pick it up, throw it calmly to second. Then you have all day to relay it to first.
Top of the order, here's Adam Frazier. Ground ball to Murphy, first time up. So Turner trying to pitch around the leadoff walk. And Lobaton really had to extend for that one. Good heater. It's been around 95 early in the game.
The thing that impressed me in his start against the Rockies was that swing back fastball to lefties late. And also that long relief appearance he had where he came in for 4 innings. He had that same thing going too.
Yeah, that was a pretty important effort for the Nats, the pitching staff, the bullpen. That one fading away from the lefty. How about 97 with movement and a comebacker? A couple of good innings now for Jacob Turner. He'll bat after Lobaton when we bring you back.
All right, here's more for you on the fantastic story of Gift Ngope, who last month became the first big leaguer ever to be born in Africa. He's from South Africa, and he actually learned the game of baseball because his mother, who was seeking shelter, lived in a small room next to the shower stalls of an amateur baseball club in Johannesburg. She essentially became their clubhouse jack of all trades, cleaning and cooking for the players, and Gift picked up baseball through the club. He eventually signed with the Pirates for just $15,000 in 2008, grinded it out for 8 full minor league seasons. His mother actually passed away a couple of years ago. It really shook him, and he considered giving up the game, but he stuck with it. He was finally called up for the first time in April, and guys, got a hit in his very first big league at bat. Get this, a single off 4-time All-Star John Lester, no less.
That's great. Thanks, Dan, with our Coons.com sideline report. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons.
Fantastic story.
Lobatone, Turner, and Turner. Jose 4 for 36 on the season, playing in his 11th ball game. Seeing Garrett Cole for the first time. Close. Ball 1.
Jose been working real hard on his swing, coming out early. Seen some results lately. Been hitting the ball a lot harder. Trying to get on top and keep the ball out of the air, hit it more on a line.
Great to be the Nats hitting coach these days, Rick Shue. That doesn't mean anybody's not working as hard as they were at any other time. Every day grinding it out. 3-2.
Yeah, but when your OPS is like with Ruth and Gehrig and Bonds and Kent and Ruth and Gehrig again. You talk about Harper and Zimmerman, the highest combined by teammates all time. I know it's May 17th, but still. 6.1 runs per game, most in the major leagues. And I like the t-shirt that we started last night. Hits happen. They do with this team. Washington Nationals baseball. Hits happen.
384 hits in their first 38 games. I mean, they're averaging 10 hits a game. It's crazy. Lobatone on a line where they were playing him, but the ball's going to fall in well in front of Andrew McCutchen. First Washington hit, second base runner.
Well, there goes a no-hitter. Jose Lobaton will take it. There's an old saying I used to love: hard work makes luck. And you're working hard at your swing, and sometimes good things happen. I was looking where Andrew McCutchen was playing that whole at bat, and he was playing Jose Lobaton like he's Bryce Harper. Look how deep McCutchen is. He's like 3 steps from the warning track. Take that all day, every day if you're Jose Lobaton, but maybe he's having trouble going back on baseballs now later in his career, but he was playing them way too deep.
Strike call to Turner, who pulled the bat back with Freese and Bell charging from the corners. Pulls the bat back, tries to go Butcher Boy, and misses it. Turner 0 for 2 this year as a big league hitter, 7 hits. Going to try to bunt here with 2 strikes. He'll lay off and the pitch is away.
Coined by Hall of Fame manager Casey Stengel, the term was inspired by the motion someone in a butcher shop would use to cleave meat. Stengel ordered the maneuver whenever he needed a ground ball, the butcher boy.
Or whenever he was hungry.
I didn't know that. I just looked it up.
Casey Stengel. He doesn't get enough credit for the job he did with those Yankee teams. Now Turner's going to pull it back again, pops it up. That ball going foul as it's grabbed by Gift and Gopay. First out, top of the third. Inside the numbers, more from Jeep. So since the turn of the century, Nationals 6.11, higher than the 2000 White Sox and Rockies. Figured Colorado would be on there somewhere. Yankees, Red Sox. Jeep, lofty numbers.
Did you know that about the butcher boy?
No, I didn't know Casey.
Yeah. Been hearing that my whole life in baseball. Didn't know that was what it was.
I did recently read a really fun baseball book called Right Down the Middle, written by Ralph Terry, who pitched for Casey Stengel, and by the way gave up the famous Mazeroski homer across the river here in the 1960 series. And according to him, Casey Stengel was the first manager that really looked at hitter-pitcher matchups, like writing them down. Okay, he went 0 for 4. They started keeping charts on what hitters were doing against certain pitchers. That just wasn't done back then. And Casey Stengel was kind of the guy who got that going, which obviously is a huge part of everything these days. Of course, Mazeroski walked off the Yankees in 1960 with that home run over at Old Forbes Field. And Ralph Terry served it up. Trey Turner hit the ball pretty well to right field first time. John Jaso went back and caught it. Last night's hits, the double down the left field line and the base hit up the middle. 2 for 5 night with a stolen base, his 7th. Strike 3 call. Jordan Baker thought about it and rang him up. First strikeout for Garrett Cole. Mercedes-Benz on the pitch cast.
No argument from Trey Turner here. Let's look at it again together. Good frame by Cervelli. It's in the box. Pretty good pitch by Garrett Cole.
Yeah, that was a good pitch, finally rewarded. Just missed out there with a fastball to Anthony Rendon. There's Jason Worth, who pulled it over to David Freese on the ground, first time up. Trying to keep the inning alive for Bryce Harper.
I just think, to your point about Casey Stengel keeping track, the evolution of this game is fascinating to me from a statistical standpoint, from a data standpoint, from guys throwing 100 now to relievers. Everybody has somebody that throws 100. The whole StatCast era, launch angle, exit velocity shifts.
Yeah.
Back in the day where it used to just be like, let's show up and play, see ball, hit ball, to all the video and homework that goes in the clubhouse before the game with hitters and pitchers. It's just nuts.
That's a hard hit ball, and what a pick by David Freese. Picking off a base hit by Worth to keep Bryce Harper from batting again until next inning. Out Bill Mazeroski. There he is, rounding the bases after that walk-off homer. Windmilling with that batting helmet way back in '60. So we'll talk about K Street, the Nats' new super fan section. It returns Friday, May 26, Nats Padres for $39. You receive a field level ticket, a K card, and exclusive t-shirt. So whoever's pitching that night, make your K's be known. For details, visit nationals.com/K Street. And you don't have to lobby for that. Jason, McCutchen, and Freeze. Speaking of getting picked off, that's what Ryan Zimmerman did to John Jaso first time up. Kind of the other side of the infield version of what we just saw from David Freeze.
You know, I have a theory about teams that have trouble scoring runs for certain pitchers. I have no statistical data to back it up. But when your guy's out there pitching his tail off, you try harder. And then the media asks you after the game invariably, like, well, how come you can't score runs for Garrett Cole? And now it's implanted firmly in your brain. So the next time you go out, you're saying, we got to score runs for this guy, or at least you're thinking it.
Sure.
And this is a game, just like golf or any other skill sport, where when you try harder, you're worse. And now it's implanted in these guys' heads. They know 1.98 runs of support for Garrett Cole per game, the lowest in the big leagues. We got to get this guy some runs. He's our horse. He's our ace. And you try harder, and it gets worse.
3-1 pitch to Jaso. Upstairs, second consecutive leadoff walk by Turner. And the Pirates have a base runner in front of McCutchen and Freeze. McCutchen, a flare that fell in first time.
His hands are a lot lower than they've been in the past. Usually he had his hands up around his ear and he would just drop the barrel on the baseball. But talking to some of the Pirates people, one of the hardest things when you're getting along in your career, so to speak, is making adjustments based on how fast the game is moving. And when you get older, and there's some miles on the car, and Andrew McCutchen isn't old by any means, you as a player have to adjust. What does that mean? Well, maybe I used to be a leg kick guy, but that ain't working no more. So what do? Spread out, lower my hands. He's still trying to find that later in his career. He can't do the things he used to do because of all the miles.
30 years of age. Bouncing ball. Rendon had to back up. Murphy trying to turn it. Safe at first. Those were two long throws, and Rendon and Murph played that pretty well for the 5-4 force.
That was nifty, and they had a chance to get Andrew McCutchen. I thought, no way. Pretty good turn by Daniel Murphy. Nothing to be ashamed of right there, Murph. That was beautiful. Tricky hop for Rendon. Sling it to Murph, and watch Murph get rid of it. He had to kind of field it going towards center field, throwing across his body. And I've been saying this, Daniel Murphy gets a ton of credit for being an amazing hitter, but the more we watch him at second base, the more he's improving. He's getting better every single game there. And he went from a guy in New York that was much maligned for his defense, and we haven't seen that as a national. And he's told me it's just a matter of concentration. When he concentrates out there, he can make the plays, and that was nice.
That was a very good turn. Here's David Freeze. Murphy might be able to do this one himself. 4-3 double play. Q Murphy when he comes up third in the next half inning.
folks, this is cool. Josh Harrison last night, 6th home run of the year. There's the stat cast you saw last night, right? Check it out. There's the data. Look at this. I like this. I know you are too. Check it out. 5.8 seconds of hang time. 116 feet high, 376 feet, 37-degree launch angle. Head's going to explode, right? 5.8 seconds of hang time. So Bryce Harper's last night, the hardest home run hit by a lefty against a left-hander this year.
Look out, folks.
Almost 113 miles an hour, knocking down fences, 417 feet. Check this out. 4.2 seconds, 63 feet off the ground, 22 degrees launch angle, 113 miles an hour. My head exploded, but that's cool, right?
So Harrison's homer almost twice as high as Bryce's.
Right.
And Harper just squares one up, backspin, it goes 400 way plus.
I like the whole graphic thing.
Yeah.
It makes it easy for us slower people.
Well, Garrett Cole pitched him away first time. Bryce fouled a couple pitches off. Ended up rolling over a grounder to Ngope at second. Look out. Look out.
114. 4-degree launch angle.
All right.
That's a heater right in there at 96.
Solid numbers against Garrett.
Shift on. 1-2. Harper high in the air to right. John Jaso under it. We'd StatCast that one for you, but it would be off the frame. And by the way, StatCast brought to you by Amazon Web Services. First out, 4th inning. Both guys pitching well. Garrett Cole first 3 innings, 49 pitches, 33 strikes. Jacob Turner just had a 9-pitch inning. And that's remarkable considering it started with a walk. Fielder's choice, then the double play ball, 42 pitches, 22 in the zone. Ryan Zimmerman, shortstop ground ball, first time.
Talk to some of the Pirates people. They're all talking about the maturity of Garrett Cole this year. A guy that was very excitable in the past, really, intense out there, kind of a gamer carried on the mound, and this year much more relaxed. Kind of just going about his business, not getting rattled or excited. He wants to be great. He wants to win a championship. All the cliches, but sometimes you get a little too fired up out there.
26 years of age, 5th year in the big leagues. That's a breaking ball right in there, and Ryan knew it, and he walks away. Strikeout number 2, both called by Cole. Turner last inning, Zimmerman here.
There's a run support I've been talking about, lowest in the majors.
Daniel Murphy, fly ball to center first time. Pulls that one first base way. Josh Bell to Cole. These guys are mowing down hitters right now in the Berg. is brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4 Toyota. What drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals.
You know, I messed up and said that was the London Bridge last night. That's the Golden Gate Bridge. Silly me.
More golden than the other one.
Yeah.
Downtown Pittsburgh. Still a little ways away.
Whoa.
Probably 20-25 minutes from twilight time here.
I'm telling you, lipstick on a bird is not a good look. Screech's mom, and now that.
The parrot. Here's Josh Bell.
Oh. It's better than Mr. Matt, but still. All you birds out there, no lipstick.
Last time we checked, Mr. Met was still healthy, not on the DL. Settling in, watching Josh Bell. Took a little bit off, 88. This looks like ground ball out number 7. Daniel Murphy to Zimmerman.
All right, fan challenge is back, and we want you to challenge Anthony Rendon to anything. Can you beat him in a cook-off around the putt-putt? Tweet your challenge using hashtag Let's Go Rendon. He'll pick a winner to face off in a head-to-head competition. Details at masson.com/letsgorendon. Brought to you by Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield. Live fearless with a name trusted for over 75 years. I challenge you to a top ramen cook-off, Anthony Rendon.
I will pay to watch that.
Just put some butter in there, sprinkle like half the packet, mix it up. Good to go.
Is that the favorite in-apartment meal of minor leaguers?
Yes, or broadcasters, sriracha on top.
Cervelli walked first time on a borderline pitch. That's inside 1-1. So Turner keeping the ball down. Bucks pounding it into the dirt in front of home plate.
'96.
Well, what's up with the Atlanta Braves? First inning, back home tonight, home and home with the Blue Jays, and they put 6 on the board.
Dansby Swanson is on fire.
Yeah, Braves about to be in second place. 1-2 pitch, left side. Turner got it, pops up and throws. Ryan Zimmerman barely has to move. Every time Trey's making these plays, he's throwing bullets right into the numbers and the letters of Ryan Zimmerman.
I'll put 4 stars by this one. The range of Trey Turner. This ball's hit hard. It's not a soft hit. He had to go far to his right. And watch him get up. That's the key. Pop up quick. The exchange was amazing, and then he got something on the throw. I'm telling you, he's playing Gold Glove defense. I know they gave him an error earlier, but that was a bad call. And that's probably going to change. He's got 1 error on the year and about 105 chances. That was another beauty from Trey Turner. He's had 3 highlight reel plays in this series so far.
Yeah, and that's after the ones he pulled off at home over the weekend. Here's his counterpart, Jordy Mercer, who's a very fine shortstop in his own right. He's made 3 errors this year. Right side. 3 ground ball outs, and in 4 innings for Jacob Turner, 9 outs on the ground, including that double play and a sparkling one here. Nats 0-2-0 Pirates. We're going top 5. Quite a duel here. And when the Nats win and score 7 or more, and that's been happening a lot. Happened last night. 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com. Promo code NATS50. Papa John's with all those great ingredients. Proud partner of the Washington Nationals. So right now Cole 57 pitches, 40 strikes as he goes out for his 5th inning of work. Rendon, Goodwin, Lobaton 6, 7, 8 for Dusty. Borderline pitch and a base on balls. First time. It was the Nats' first runner, 2 outs, 2nd inning. Well stroked out to center. Here comes McCutchen. Shoulder high catch for the first out.
RBI Baseball 2017 returns with fast-paced pick-up-and-play MLB action pack with all your favorite MLB teams, players, and ballparks. Get RBI Baseball today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and your mobile device. Learn more at RBI.com.
Brian Goodwin fly ball to left first time. Freeze in the baseline at 3rd. Strike call.
Yeah, feeling someone's going to pop one out of here, and that's going to be the difference tonight.
Oh, that ball speared by Josh Bell. And a couple of dance steps over to the bag for the 2nd out. Both teams playing great infield defense tonight. Their pitchers have them on the balls of their feet.
I was going to say, you know why? They're throwing strikes. They're working quick. They're ready for the baseball. You get in the strike zone, you got a good tempo. You get plays like this made behind you all night long. When big leaguers make errors, it's because they're not thinking about the ball being hit to them, because they've been standing out there too long.
15 ground ball outs of the game, 9 by Jacob Turner. So now Jose Lobaton, who blooped one into center first time, Nats only hit. They'll try to keep the inning going to get Turner in there, Jacob that is, and get the lineup turned over. Hot shot. That's David Freese out there on the shift. 1, 2, 3. Halfway through the game.
In beautiful Pittsburgh, I mentioned last night that the Nationals' top pitching prospect, Eric Fedde, made a little bit of a surprise relief appearance for AA Harrisburg, working the 7th inning for Harrisburg, allowing 1 run. Well, General Manager Mike Rizzo said today that for the time being, Fedde will work exclusively out of the bullpen. The reasoning for that is kind of twofold. It allows the Nats to more closely manage Fedde's innings as he builds back from Tommy John surgery a couple years ago, and he's also viewed as an option to move into the Nationals' struggling bullpen at some point later on this season. Rizzo said the Nats wouldn't have made this move if they didn't think Fedde could help them in a relief role this year. And while Fedde, guys, has leaned heavily on fastball slider in his pro career, Rizzo actually said the Nats mandated he throw a certain number of changeups in every outing this year, so that pitch is coming along for him nicely.
Good stuff. Thank you, Dan, with our Coons.com sideline report. You know who you're talking about when you're talking Cars. Bottom 5. That was a breaking ball up and in to Gift and Gopay. Hard single through the shortstop hole first time, and Trey Turner's really playing him to pull here.
Mike also said it's an easier transition for a younger player to work out of the bullpen at the major league level and then eventually become a starter someday. So based on need, they moved him to the bullpen. So we'll see. Stay tuned.
1-1 pitch. Wouldn't it be nice if Jacob Turner keeps doing what he's doing here and really kind of make the whole system complicated for Dusty and Mike Rizzo for who the fifth guy is going to be, who's going to work out of the bullpen. Nothing gets things going for a ball club like some competition on the staff.
I think it makes it simplified, more simple, right? If he keeps doing what he's doing, he did it in Colorado, he's doing it here again tonight. Now he's your 5th starter. Now, maybe Eric Fedde's an option. I don't know how Joe Ross is doing. I haven't heard. Maybe he's an option in the bullpen. Who knows?
Yeah, right now, Joe Ross has a 6.10 ERA in 4 starts down there, 25 hits in 21 innings. So struggling.
That's why you read the minor league reports.
Dan, you have more on Joe?
I do, Bob. Joe's first one down with Syracuse was not great. His last outing better. The Nationals like what they saw. They're trying to get his arm slot back up, and Mike Rizzo said Joe Ross not an option to relieve. They're going to keep him in the starting rotation.
All right. Thank you, sir. 3-2. Don't want to walk this guy in front of the pitcher. They'll get the ground ball. Here comes Rendon. Tricky little skid there right at the edge of the grass. And the ground ball outs keep on coming for Jacob Turner.
Nice play. Calm, no panic, relaxed, even though Ngopay can run. Nice play by Anthony Rendon.
Here's Garrett Cole, who popped up a bunt first time up. Might turn out to be a big play in the game. They had first and second, 1 out. He was trying to move runners around. Turner caught that bunt. Target in. 2-hopper. Trey Turner. Plenty of time for a couple of crow hops there. So twice through the order, the Pirates have 2 hits, 2 walks. Nats have done everything right tonight except throw the ball around after that out. Ended up in left field.
They got to work on that. Tighten that up a little bit.
Here's Adam Frazier. 2 ground balls himself. Jacob Turner pumping strikes. By the way, 3rd inning, 4th inning combined, 19 pitches total. 1-2.
He's just out there playing catch, isn't he, at 95, 96, working ahead, moving the fastball around, mixing occasional off speed.
Yeah.
Poise, mound presence.
It's coming out easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Target in again, up the middle. It hits Jacob. No throw, no throw. It's all right. And a base hit for Adam Frazier.
He's okay. Good hustle running after it. Trying to see where it got him. I couldn't tell, but nobody's coming out, waving everybody off. He's fine. Max Scherzer just had a little flashback, probably.
Scherzer the one hollering, "We've got ice"?
No. He knows how that feels.
Yeah, well, so did Ramos and Lobaton.
Yeah, that was funny. Oh, Ryan Zimmerman looking in the dugout right now. Look at this.
Well, if he has a look, you know they'll have a look.
Yeah, Jose Lobaton going to step out for a little stall piece here. Do we have action? What do we got? Ooh.
Ryan tried to sell it to Bill Welke.
He's going to sell it to New York now. I think we're playing ball.
Thought I had you.
Thought I had you.
You talk about a pole position for the second baseman on a shift. And Murphy about 20 feet out into right field. Now they've got him picked off. Turner will go to the bag to receive the throw from Zimmerman and run down Adam Frazier.
That one was a little more definitive.
1-3-6 on the pickoff. Ahead, and of course Johnny and Ray 30 minutes before and after every game. So Thursday here, Tanneroa. By the way, it's a 12:35 first pitch tomorrow. Tyler Glasnow 1-3, high ERA for the Pirates, and then it's on to Atlanta for 3. Note the 4 o'clock start on Saturday. Then the Nats have an off day Monday. The Mariners and the Padres in next week. So it's all driven by your local Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyFirst.com. Nats have 1 hit. 63 pitches, 46 strikes for Garrett Cole, who in his career has a 2.92 ERA against the Nationals. And in 2 starts in this ballpark, 1-0 with a 1.98 before tonight. Just had a really quick 5th inning. Misses to the pitcher.
Garrett Cole's got to be thinking, here I go again with that whole run support thing. Pirates only have 3 hits. Jacob Turner's going toe-to-toe with Garrett Cole.
2-0. Turner, Turner, and Worth.
Turner, Turner, and Turner.
Three and 0.
Tina Turner in the hole.
As we try to turn the lineup over here.
This is horrible. Green light?
No. Then I still got the red light blazing here too.
I'd say take another one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Make him throw 3 strikes. Not to get a fastball right down the middle. Rip it somewhere.
Tell him, Bob.
Come on. Career hit number 8, maybe.
Yeah, let's do it.
He's going to take the walk. Garrett Cole holding on way too long. That'll be his 2nd walk.
Geico highlights. Let's watch Trey play. Little dive in the hole, get to his feet. Great throw right on the money. Look how kind of leaned into the dive on the outfield grass. Doesn't that look fun? Does to me. Trey Turner playing the game like a little kid. StatCast, there you go. 1.27s on the exchange on a dive. That is phenomenal. He dove for the ball, hit his glove. He got up to his feet and threw it in 1.27 seconds. 15 minutes could save you 50% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Fly ball to right, taken 3rd strike. That was a breaking ball. David Freese. No way they're going to get Turner for 2. So Jacob Turner takes a seat as they trade places, and it should be a pretty good trade right now in a 0-0 game.
No, it's a great trade. The Pirates are having trouble throwing out base stealers. Trey Turner would have loved the hit, but he just cruises in to beat out this potential double play. Now the steal definitely in. And we're going to show you why right now. Go deep inside the numbers. Check this out. 37 stolen bases allowed, most in Major League Baseball. So Trey Turner has at least an 82% chance of being safe. I will say, though, Garrett Cole gets the ball to the plate quick. But in a 0-0 game, like you said, partner, green light. Here you go.
7 of 8 on the year. Cervelli 5 for 23 throwing out runners. Of course, that's pretty much the pitcher's responsibility along with his. But we've got a game situation here in the 6th inning because it's Worth in there and Bryce Harper on deck.
Got to throw over here, you'd think. Trey's stretching out that hamstring a little bit.
0-1 to Jason. They're going to jam him with all that hitting room on the right side. Worth trying to shoot it through there anyway, and now it's 0-2. Nats box, not a whole lot. 2-out walk. Rendon in the 2nd. Flare to center. Lobatone, the only hit leading off the 3rd. And Garrett Cole had retired 9 in a row before he walked Jacob Turner in this inning. Boy, McCutchen and Frazier look like they're in a no doubles defense out there in the 6th inning.
He was going. See that little hesitation before he went back? 0-2 count. Clint Hurdle can pitch out right here if he wants. He saw what we saw.
To the count.
Shortened up his lead big time.
And Jason's got to be hacking if it's close.
You see, that's smart by Trey Turner. A lot of times guys do the jelly leg thing, tip off their go, and they still go, and they run right into an out. Smart base stealers know that they tipped off the fact that they were stealing, and they don't go the next pitch. Turner out there a little bit further this time.
It's not the first emergency hack or the second, maybe the third we've seen by Jason tonight.
Well, longer the at-bat goes for this guy, you know the story.
Pitch out. Turner holding. Counts 1-2.
Now he's inviting you to go, but like I said, Cole is getting the ball up there quick.
Pretty good career percentage going there. Made better this year, as I mentioned earlier, 7 of 8.
Bigger lead.
Holding. Bounces. And Cervelli went into a momentary 5 alarm there. Looked up and the runner hadn't been going, so it's 2-2. Meanwhile, Jason Worth working the count here.
I mean, the advantage if you steal second here is obviously it's a 0-0 game. You're in scoring position. Disadvantage is it takes the bat out of Bryce Harper's hand. You'd think Clint Hurdle would walk him.
There he goes.
Got a good jump. Real good jump. 98 from Garrett Cole. Watch the jump by Trey Turner. Got a good rhythm. He's looking in all the way.
Two with 1 out. Going again. Worth lifting one to left. It'll take Frazier back, but well in front of the track. He puts away the second out, and Trey Turner has to hustle back. So 8 pitches. And first base occupied, so here comes Harper.
Jason's hit it hard 3 times tonight. Nothing to show.
And Garrett Cole more hittable as the game goes on. Opponent's batting average .230. First 8 starts, covering 50 innings. So Bryce has pulled it twice, ground ball to second, and actually into short right field on a shift, and then a high fly ball to shallow right. I think he started him with first pitch fastball away every time.
Yeah. Bryce asking if it was a strike. I think now that it's strike 1, if you're Trey Turner, you can go. You hang out for a pitch, let him do his thing. But the fact that they have a strike on Bryce, I don't think they'll pitch around him now if you steal second. They'll pitch more carefully, but they're going to pitch carefully anyways.
Turner on the move, pitches upstairs, and Trey is in there. 8 out of 9, and his second of this series.
I'm looking in the Pirates dugout. What are they going to do? Trey Turner had a couple of good jumps in Jason Worth's at bat. That wasn't his best one, but look how easily he steals it. So now, game on. Runner in scoring position, which in this pitcher's duel is huge.
Yeah, right now, Cole and Harper. There's a breaking ball that got some of the plate. Bryce out ahead of it.
They got 385 on deck, so it's not an automatic pitch around. And look at those numbers.
One-two pitch. And Cervelli sliding to his right.
So a couple of sliders. Do you go to the fastball anywhere near the strike zone if you're Garrett Cole, or are you trying to get Bryce Harper to fish for a ball here? Long look.
Time given.
See, I think, Carp, if you're hitting right now, these are the at-bats where you dumb it down if you're a hitter. And what do I mean by that? If you start thinking, okay, 2-2, he threw me 2 sliders, Ryan Zimmerman's on deck, are they going to use the base open? You get in your head way too much. If you just see ball, hit ball, and look for a mistake, that's what I mean by dumbing it down. Don't try to think about the situation too much and who's on deck, who's behind him, what he might throw you here with the base open. Just see ball, hit ball.
Had Harper reaching again. He's made some great pitches to Bryce tonight. The Nats have stranded 3 runners and still have only 1 hit in a scoreless game. Limited baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Dallas Keuchel won the Cy Young in the American League 2 years ago. He's back on form, unbeaten. Dansby Swanson of the Braves had a tough start to the season when we faced them. He's got it going now. The Braves are trying to make it 5 out of 6, and they have a big lead tonight. And it looks like Robinson Cano will be a no for the Nats-Mariners series next week. Off to a pretty good start. He and Nelson Cruz, of course, the focal points of that offense. So it's all brought to you by T-Mobile. Maybe time to stand up for a run here when the Nats come back around in the 7th. Right now it's all about pitching and defense, and Jacob Turner back to work. Jaso was hitting when Frazier was picked off to end the 5th inning.
Isn't Cano one of Bryce's favorite players? If I remember right? I think so.
One. Jaso, a bouncer to Zimmerman, actually more than a bouncer. A hot shot on a hop. By the way, Bryce Harper looks in. He's got Murphy right in front of him, and then Turner and Zimmerman off to the sides. Kind of a Y formation right there on the shift. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No swing, says Mike Everett. From 1-2 to 3-2 now. Tried to bring the breaking ball around to the outside edge, and he missed. That's a third time tonight. Second inning, third inning, and now sixth inning, where Turner has thrown a leadoff walk.
Yoga in the outfield returns Sunday, May 28th after the Nationals-Padres game. That's a 1:35 start. With the purchase of this special ticket, receive a Nationals yoga mat and enjoy a post-game yoga class. Visit nationals.com/special ticket. Interesting call there on the 3-2 off-speed pitch to John Jaso.
There's McCutchen, fielder's choice ground ball, last time to Rendon.
It's just weird though why numbers can be deceiving. You look at Jaso, 162 average. He's had the best at-bats in the first 2 games of this series of anybody for the Pirates. Last night he swung it well. Tonight, that bullet to Ryan and a couple of walks.
.66 pitches in 5 innings coming into this. And McCutchen down to third again for Rendon. To Murphy. And Daniel knows no time to make a relay there. 1 out. Ground ball out number 12. Pirates box score. They have 3 hits. A McCutchen bloop in the first. And Gope, a hot shot between third and short in the second. Then the base hit by Adam Frazier last inning off of Jacob Turner, who then picked him off. Clint Hurdle's offense has had 3 walks tonight. Haven't been able to do much with them.
I don't know what to do up here. I don't think we've had a pitcher's duel yet this year.
They must have a pretty good move. That was rather close.
I mean, I kind of am liking this. I mean, there's actual strategy involved tonight. I mean, Trey Turner stealing second. Do you pitch to Bryce Harper? I mean, usually it's just bash the other team heads in. That's what we've seen so far this year. But this is fun.
Yeah, we're usually about the 4th inning right now. Scores probably 6-2, 6-3, something like that.
This is great.
We were told before the season started there could be nights like this.
Do you go hit and run here in the sequence if you're Clint Hurdle? David Freese taking a long look at Joey Cora. Does McCutchen run here? I mean, second base is huge tonight. Usually we just watch guys jog by second base.
0-1 the count.
Oh, he was going. See that little false step and get back? When a guy's not going, he gets right back. When he's going, there's that little and then he gets back, and that's what Andrew McCutchen just did. Shorter lead. Knew they were throwing over.
Turner's done a good job of holding runners.
Super short lead. Look at that, 9 feet. Going nowhere. But it gets back to the point I made with Trey. He knew he tipped off the steal, so now he shut himself down. But it's back on here. Maybe if it gets to 1-2. 0-2 is not a great count to steal on. Usually a fastball up count. That's why you don't like to run on it. Easy for the catcher to throw.
Oh, up and in, and Freese hit by that 92. So a walk and a hit batter in this inning. And now a lefty coming up, Josh Bell.
Yeah, this one just kind of sailed on him. He wanted it up down the middle, and he got inside of it and had that arm side run to it. David Freese wears it right off the Pirate logo on his shoulder. Watch this. It's the buckle right in the neck. Tough way to get aboard.
Josh Bell and Jordy Mercer The Pirates, who've hit into the most double plays this year, 6 each. Nats are in the top 3 in the league with 41 now, including one tonight. Keeping the ball down, but it's 2-0.
Good block.
So just under, as far as the pitch count, what he did at Colorado. April 24th. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. Helped himself out that night, but not walking anybody. McCutchen going, and Rendon doesn't even cover. Stolen base, standing up. Big 90 feet for the Bucks.
Well, in a 0-0 game, that can't happen that easily. Watch McCutchen just take off. He got something on Jacob Turner just looking at him once, rolling his head. He did it a couple of times. He fell into a pattern with his looks right there. McCutchen took advantage. Rendon didn't even move because of the great jump.
Now it's 3-0. Right-hander Cervelli on deck. And the rookie Josh Bell all in on a 3-0 green light.
I'll tell you what, if you're a rookie and you get a 3-0 green light in a 0-0 game in the bottom of the 6th, you better hit it in the air. You get that ball on the ground, that might be the last green light you see.
Not great in this department so far. Pretty good right there. 3-0 Pittsburgh.
Yeah, got that one in there, didn't he?
3 runs in the inning on 1 hit. Bell's team leading 8th of the year.
Yeah, right down Broadway. He was looking for the 3-1 fastball, of course. Got the 3-1 fastball and knew as soon as he got it, there was 3-0 Pirates. You're wondering, was that going to go over the bleachers? But it went about 4 rows back. Some instant offense for the Buccos. And 3 looks like a lot in this one.
Turner gives up his 2nd homer of the season. Blake Trinan is up after his heroic effort last night. So 1 out here in the 6th, and the way Cole's pitching, that's a huge lead. Here's Cervelli. Strike. Well, this time the Pirates made the leadoff walk hurt, even though that runner was forced out.
You wonder if Jacob Turner might be a little bit gassed based on what we just showed you. That 84 pitches he threw was against Colorado on April 24th. And one side of that you could say, well, he's still fresh. The other side, well, he's not used to stretching it out. That hit by pitch to David Freese was a red light or a red flag for me.
Just didn't finish properly.
Well, he's just been hitting his spots all night.
Yeah.
I mean, he's darting his spots, and when you get tired, the first thing to go is not your velocity, it's your command. Your legs start to betray it. And if you look at his face right now, warm night, he's kind of feeling it.
Through 19 innings in the nightcap on Sunday. 19 pitches, 11 strikes. Gave up a hit, a run in 2/3 of an inning, walked a guy, struck out a guy. 3 days later, getting the starting assignment and a 2-2 with 1 out. Late break on that one, no swing.
And I'll say this, regardless of what happens the rest of the night, Jacob Turner's pitched a great game. And he's made his case for being the number 5 guy, in my opinion.
Fastball up.
Tired.
2 walks in the inning.
Dusty seeing what we're seeing. He's coming out to get the right-hander. Just fastball up. Looked good on pitch cast, but I didn't think it was a strike.
1 strikeout for Turner tonight. 4 walks. A double play ball, a pickoff, a hit batter, a home run, and he's done after 5 1/3. Blake Trinan's been warming, and the Bucks are on top by 3. Is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Well, a little respite, hoping to get ready for the top of the 7th and some offense. But right now it's all Pirates. A runner aboard. Blake Trinan takes over. Quite an appearance here last night. A quick inning in the 7th. Got a double play ball. 3 outs on 6 pitches, all strikes. Pirates would not be heard from the rest of the night. Nats would add on a couple and win it 8-4. Jordy Mercer 0 for 3 career against Trinan, and that one goes sailing away inside.
Dusty looking for that ground ball. Done a nice job with inherited runners this year.
Yeah, for Blake starting some innings cleanly has been a hard time with all those hits. There's one to right field. Cervelli stops at second.
Well, I thought Cervelli was going to go to third. Bryce Harper had to go a long way to his left toward the line, and Cervelli just shut it down. I wonder if he's feeling 100%.
Gift and Gope is next, 1 for 2. And then on the second at bat after his second inning base hit, Anthony Rendon had to rush in, grab it in between hop and throw him out on the run. So still only 1 out in the inning. Blake Trinan always 1 pitch away from being out of a frame.
Runs well. It's going to have to hit hard if it's a potential double play ball. Good block. And watch Jose Lobaton selling out to keep the double play in order here. Stay soft, keep it close, keep the runners right where they're at.
Two 2-0 pitch, and Ngope swinging from the heels. 2-1.
Nice job, Jacob Turner.
89 pitches, 49 strikes.
You give up 3 runs on this ball club, 9 nights out of 10 or 9 starts out of 10, you're going to win the ball game. They're averaging 6.1 a game. You give up 3, you're going to win.
Yeah.
Garrett Cole's just been real good tonight.
Yeah. May 17th, like Christmas suddenly for him. 2-1 pitch. Just low with that heater. Cole is on deck here. Pirates have had 3 base runners this inning without hitting the ball. 2 other hits. Right in there to fill the count. Swing and a miss. 96 for the K. 2 down. Mercedes-Benz pitch cast.
Did this have a little cut action to it at 96? Watch this go the other way. See how Jose Lobaton kind of caught that going toward his dugout? Tells me there might have been some cutting action on it. Either way, strike 3, good pitch.
All right, time to get out of the inning right here.
Cole can swing it a little bit. You can't just lay one in there.
Zimmerman, Murphy, and Rendon due up in the 7th. Cole 0 for 2 tonight. A bunt that he popped up and a ground ball to Trey Turner. There's the slider.
That's why they threw the slider.
To the right side, Zimmerman goes for it. He'll shovel, and well played to Blake Trinan. So 3 for the Pirates on the Josh Bell long home run. On the road, they see some fireworks, they see some offense. Plenty of time left in which to do that tonight. 3 innings to go. 3-0 Pirates. Garrett Cole, the story of the game tonight, but also for the Nats, Jacob Turner again representing himself very well.
1 hit, 1 hit. That's it tonight. 1 hit. Let's go. No, Garrett Cole's pitched great. very impressed with Jacob Turner. His command of the strike zone, his tempo, his mound presence, his poise, not rattled by anything. Gave up the home run, but you know, he pitched a heck of a game, especially since his last start was April 24th in Colorado. So a guy that's really making a case for that 5th spot. And Garrett Cole is one of the best pitchers in the National League. He's on a hot streak. He's throwing 97, 98, hitting his spots. He's been tough to hit. So anytime you go through this lineup 3 times, you're doing something right. But 4, 5, 6 up, let's see. A lot of ball game left, right?
Mid-80s on his pitch count. Ryan Zimmerman about to lead off here. So our freight railworks due up for the Nats. It's 4, 5, and 6. And Zimmerman and Harper are the 2 big road warriors. But other guys are doing very nicely as well. Garrett Cole, 84 pitches, 59 strikes.
Yeah, we've seen him pitch for a few years now, and he's a guy that you can rattle, but not tonight. I mean, he's just looked relaxed. That was the scouting report on him before the game, that he's kind of all grown up now, a little more mature, veteran presence, and nothing really gets to him, except for some people with a camera right behind home plate.
There's John Jaso, who goes in to play first base, and they went ahead and put Gregory Polanco on the DL, so Danny Ortiz, his replacement, is the new right fielder.
What the heck? They told the guy to get off the field. He ran off the field, but he left that tripod dealio thing there, and they're like, hey, we can't play with that there. I think it's a spaceship. I'm not sure.
The thing about to take off?
That's a virtual reality camera, I believe. Yeah. Don't forget the camera next time, Meat.
Come on, got to speed up the game here.
Tighten it up.
Ryan Zimmerman, ground ball to short, and a called 3rd strike. Garrett Cole has really forced some of the Nats guys in the middle of the lineup into some soft contact tonight. 85th pitch, 60th strike.
It's frustrating. You sit out there at first base and you're thinking, okay, next at bat, I'm ambushing him. I'm looking fastball in. You see the fastball in, you start your swing, and it's got a lot of late run to it, and he gets in on you. It was a good game plan. It's just pitch had a lot of movement.
Oliver Perez. Murphy, fly ball to center, pulled a ground ball to first. He's 0 for 2. For the achiever in you, and when you have insight, you know how to handle your finances with confidence. Brought to you by PNC Bank. Tyler Gushue, 23-year-old catcher, and he was acquired by the Pirates. Michael Barrett, by the way, is doing a great job with him. Says Mark Shalaba down in the minor leagues. He's a switch hitting catcher, power from both sides.
Bless you.
And he Gushue. And he also has a very plus arm, and the Nats like him a lot.
Call him up then. He's ready.
Tyler Gushue. Murphy with a clean base hit. Second hit of the night. Rendon next.
Garrett Cole not happy. He thinks he made a mistake here because he gave up a single to Daniel Murphy.
Get in line for that.
Okay, he's frustrated. Good swing. Hits happen. Hopefully that's the start of something big here in the 7th.
Rendon hit the ball hard last time. Lined out right to McCutchen in center. Walked his first time. That's a shot foul. So Anthony's had the best ABs tonight.
Jason's had some good ones too. Lined out twice, or grounded out hard twice, I should say. Brian Goodwin had a good one last time. Jose Lobaton. So bottom of the order, seeing Garrett Cole better.
Long look by Jordan Baker before he stood straight up and called it a ball. Nissan pitch cast.
Close. Cervelli can really frame that low pitch. Both catchers tonight, two of the best framers in the National League.
Murphy, really short lead. That's a strike. 1-2. Felipe Rivero, the lefty, the former net, Juan Nicasio. Rendon, a swing and a miss. Garrett Cole dropping one under his bat for his third strikeout tonight.
Pitch number 91 from Garrett Cole was 99 miles an hour. This guy's a horse. Might have been a little frustration behind that heater after the Murphy single. Hasn't really been any high stress innings all night for Garrett Cole.
Nope. He went nearly 3 full innings without pitching off the stretch. Strike to Goodwin. Fly ball to left. And a ground ball to first, on which Josh Bell made a fine play. Yeah, 80% of the time throwing first pitch strikes. And Goodwin launches one to right, heading for the scoreboard and off the board. Heading for third, Murphy. He's being sent. Throw home, but a double pump by Ngope costing him a chance to get the runner. And the Nats are on the board. Goodwin's second RBI.
Well, if Garrett Cole didn't like the Daniel Murphy single, he's really upset right now on the Brian Goodwin double. Now, I'll tell you what, if Ngope gets that and knows where to throw it right away, Daniel Murphy's out. Played nicely off the wall. And watching Ngope, he went to throw it to third at first, double pumped, and that allowed Daniel Murphy to sneak in there. Did Murph just scream like he does when he almost gets hit by a pitch as he goes into the slide?
It looked like aye.
I think he did it. Aye, here I come. Look out, everybody. That was cool.
Had Jordy Mercer over there talking to this young second baseman, at least young in terms of big league experience.
Can we hear him at the end? Can you turn it up for us, please?
Yes, he did.
That guy's awesome. What's not to love about
Murph, the best audio in baseball.
That guy's great. Kind of like an NBA guy when they dunk, they always scream. Same kind of thing. Get a big rebound.
Well, Jose Lobaton trying to keep this inning going. And there are some nights when you can't save your best pinch hitter until later. And if this inning continues, the Nats are within reach of the Pirates, and Adam Lind is waiting to hit for Trinan.
Well, Dusty wants to get in the Pirates bullpen. That's what that's all about. He just wants Garrett Cole out of here. And you think if Adam Lind steps up there that it's decision time for Clint Earl. He's got Rivero ready. Still chunking down there in the bullpen. He's hot. And that's just a move to get that guy you're looking at out of the ball game.
One with 2 outs. That can't happen. Brian Goodwin picked off second by the catcher, and the inning is over.
Yeah, down by 2, tying run at the plate. Not a good play. Go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Washington area Toyota dealers help children and their families by making a donation of $37 to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season.
Oliver Perez, 12th appearance for the Nationals. 8 1/3 innings, 11 hits, 4 runs. It's hard to believe that as much as we've seen Oliver, he's thrown 8 innings this year.
I mean, he's a specialist guy, so a lot of times he comes in and faces one hitter at the fastball slider combination. That was a big time momentum shift. The Nats were trying to grab that momentum back. They haven't had it all night. That was a huge play by Francisco Cervelli, picking off Brian Goodwin, especially this late.
One ball, 1 strike, bottom of the 7th underway. Pretty good job of jamming the hitter. This one appears to be in no man's land, and it gets just a row or 2 in there.
When the Nats are on the road, check out the Pete Nats. The team is in town through Thursday. Every night offers something new. Deuces Wild Tuesdays, Winning Wednesdays, College Night Thursdays. I guess those are self-explanatory. I don't know what they mean. Visit PotomacNationals.com to purchase your tickets.
One-two pitch. Just stayed inside. Perez throwing that right at the front hip of Adam Frazier. Maybe even behind him a little bit.
Yeah, that was a big frisbee.
Got a strike with the first one. Now it's 2-2. hanging on that back leg a while. Frazier's going to go out and just drop it into center field. 2 for 4 night. He continues to be really good as their leadoff guy. He's 18 for 49 now, batting up over 360, leading off games for the Bucks. John Jaso, now the first baseman, is next. Matt Albers, one batter last night in the 7th inning when the Pirates were mounting their comeback. Guy who batted cleanup last night, trying to bunt for a hit. A couple of walks, 0 for 1 Jaso this evening.
Might have been a sacrifice. Clint Hurdle trying to get that run back the Nats put up at the top of the 7th. Left on left. Not liking his chances swinging.
Whoa!
What, they go through his legs?
Right between his knees on that one.
What the heck?
1 ball, 1 strike.
5-hole? Show me that again. There you go. Just a bit inside. Doesn't look comfy, does he?
Not now. Not now.
You know, if you have dreads like that, you should be able to petition the league to drill a hole in the back of your helmet, right? And then just stick the dreads through that hole.
Another thing in baseball I've never considered.
Yeah, it's like about the size of a baseball.
1-2 pitch. Curveball outside. 2-2. Now they got another runner picked off.
That was a balk all the way. I mean, that was a big time balk.
Yeah. So on the balk, Frazier to second.
He was going home. He saw the runner go, and then he stepped right to home and threw to first. I mean, good effort, because he knew the base was stolen to try to choke it off late and throw it over there. But watch this. This is such a balk. Yeah. You could tell he was going home, and they went, uh-oh, he's going. And he stepped right toward home plate with his foot. Just abbreviated his delivery.
Turner right behind the runner on the modified lefty-lefty shift here. And Jose Lobaton reaching out to scoop that thing and keep it around. Well, he got ahead and then lost him. 2 on, nobody out. 3rd time Jaso walks tonight. McCutchen freezed, right-handers coming in. So Oliver Perez done for the night with a walk and a base hit given up. Matt Albers has been throwing. Pirates trying to really bust this thing open now. Masson brought to you by American Standard Heating and Air. Go to MidAtlanticComfort.com for special offers and to find a dealer near you. And by University of Maryland, University College.
Whoa.
What a shot from the Masson drone. Unbelievable on this Wednesday evening. Warm, beautiful night in Pittsburgh. But right now, it's all Bucks. 3-1 and threatening to score some more.
A two-seam fastball, low 90s, slider to complement it. Dusty Baker would love a ground ball right here, right now.
Albers took over last night when Steven Strasburg departed. He throws strikes, and guys is usually ready to get to work when he takes the mound. Andrew McCutchen 0 for 2 career against Matt. A couple of fly ball outs.
I'll tell you what, Blake Trinan handled Andrew McCutchen as well as I've ever seen a pitcher handle him last night. 98 underneath his hands, and then he ended it with a slider, and McCutchen's hips were already in his dugout looking for that sinker in.
Yeah, Blake gave up a hit tonight, but then he got his next two guys. So he has put together back-to-back strong outings here, and maybe something to build on for him. Let's go inside the numbers, brought to you by PNC Bank. Lowest chase percentage, guys who swing out of the strike zone. And McCutchen is on that list.
So it's not guys that follow you home?
I dread that thought.
Yeah. I like that sinker in right under his hands. He showed you last night with Blake Trinan that he has trouble getting to that pitch. If you start that middle third and let it run, I think you get the ground ball you're looking for.
2-1.
But if you let him get extended, that's what he wants. He's thinking right center right here. There it is.
Yeah, got inside on him.
Stay right in there. That's all he could do with it. Yeah, 3-1, all systems go. They set up a way. He missed the spot, but it's actually where Blake Trinan pitched him to perfection last night. Maybe different catcher. Jose Lobaton seeing it differently. Matt Wieters was setting up down and in against McCutchen in that big situation.
(3-2) and a ball drilled to right field. That's trouble. Bryce Harper takes the one hopper off the wall. They got two runners, one right behind the other, and the throw comes in and misses a cutoff guy, and the Pirates will score 2 runs. Looked like Murphy and Zimmerman were expecting a throw, and Bryce threw it into second. And now the Pirates lead by 4.
A fastball away. McCutchen got extended. That's what he was trying to do. The whole at-bat go the other way. And Bryce flips it into second base. Nobody's there. And you had a 2-car pileup at third, but it worked out nicely for the Pirates as everybody scored. You see Frazier with the hesitation. He scores. John Jaso right behind him. He scores. And just like that, a 5-1 game. McCutchen finally got the pitch he was looking for. It was the last one.
RBIs number 18 and 19, and his first of this series. So here's David Freese against Matt Albers. They match up for the first time. Runner going, throw into center field. And then because Brian Goodwin hustled in, no further advancement by McCutchen, who has swiped his second base of the night.
Yeah, great jump by McCutchen. Lobaton had to rush the throw, so it's going to have some sink on it. And then Daniel Murphy diving for the ball. Trey Turner with a deke in the background, but I don't think that held Andrew McCutchen at second. He just got up late. Good effort, though.
Yeah, don't forget about him. Like last time, he'll swipe third. 2-0 now. Then becoming a rough inning for the bullpen. 2 hits, a walk, a balk.
That's the pitch, right? I mean, when you think of Matt Albers, you think of that sinker underneath the right-hander's hands. Perfect.
Up the middle, that's where Murphy's playing. Had designs on third. But McCutchen's over there on the first out of the inning.
Good no throw by Daniel Murphy. He's thinking about it right now. Should I have done it? I don't think so, Murph. I think you made the right play. McCutchen had a good jump. He had a good secondary lead. And now you're talking about a huge inning if you throw it over there and you don't get him out. He doesn't have the benefit of the view we had. Moves a lot faster down there than it does up here, obviously.
First look at Danny Ortiz.
Great time to squeeze if you're Clint Hurdle up by 4. Great time. I don't know if Ortiz can handle the bat, but this is when you do it. Good runner at third. If he can handle the bat up by 4, it's not that big a gamble. Perfect time.
Danny Ortiz recalled today by the Pirates. Played in 1 game earlier this year without an at-bat. They put Polanco on the DL with that left hamstring. Infield in, 2-0 count, 1 out. .27 years of age, from Puerto Rico. Lefty thrower, lefty batter. He was ripping. Brian Zimmerman guarding the line. Good play down there.
Nice play. That was Colorado. She would have had to use her chair.
Ground balls carry really well out there. The 3-1 pitch. Second walk of the inning. Runners at the corners with Cervelli coming up. Mike Maddox to the mound.
It's still a 4-run game. You're within slam range. That's why Mike Maddox is out there. He said, hey, get us a ground ball. We'll load them up, hit one in the water, and see what happens. This game's not over yet, not with the offense you have. And if you get Garrett Cole.
Who's at 98 pitches, by the way, through 7.
Get him out of there, get in that bullpen. It's still a ball game, and I'm sure Mike Maddox said something to that effect, and I know that's what Dusty Baker's thinking. Is that Dean Martin?
That was a lot of Dean Martin.
That was Dean Martin, the whole song.
I mean, nothing gets a ball game moving like Dean Martin.
2 Martini song.
Here's Cervelli. Double plays in order, so Turner with Murphy halfway. Albers looks at both of them as they communicate about who's covering. Rendon just beyond even with the bag at third.
Strike one has been an elusive creature this year for the Nats bullpen. It really has. And you're hoping that changes. It has to, right?
And Cervelli taking all the way on 3-0, just above the knees.
Hurdle might start the runner here in a 3-1 count, stay out of the double play. Cervelli can handle the bat.
That ball drilled to right. Bryce Harper back into his left. Tagging is McCutchen. And because he stole a base, he's able to score on that fly ball. And now it's 6-1. Good at bat by Cervelli. RBI number 16. Jordy Mercer is next.
See Ortiz, he was off to the races. He had 3 steps. He was going, and then he stopped and went back to the bag.
Albers gets ahead. Mercer base hit last time. Two hits, a walk in the series. 9 for his last 51.
A good time for Ortiz to go. 1-1 count.
in there. Strike two.
Seen a lot more sliders from Matt Albers recently. You remember his first like 3 or 4 appearances, it was all turbo sinker, turbo sinker, turbo sinker, and now really relying on the slider lately. But when that sinker's going on, he really doesn't need another pitch.
Tapper. Albers to his right. Long. Bottom of the 7th comes to an end. Pirates add 3 runs. And right across from the Golden Triangle, it's 6-1 Pittsburgh. A matinee for you tomorrow. Tanner Roark, 2-0, 2.55 career against the Pittsburgh Pirates in 4 outings. And he'll be looking for his 4th win. Tyler Glasnow, 1-3 with almost an 8 ERA. So he better be pretty good tomorrow against Tanner and the Nats offense. 7 earned runs in just over 2 innings his last time out at Arizona for Glasnow. Noon, Nats Extra. All right, we're going to the top of the 8th here. And an old left-hander who used to be with the Nats here, Dan, as Felipe Rivero takes the mound.
Our old buddy Bob, and not only does Felipe Rivero throw left-handed, throw 100, there's another Nationals pitcher who throws with his left arm and throws 100, Enny Romero. Those two don't just resemble each other on the mound, they're also good friends. They were together in the Rays organization together. Felipe told me that they were roommates during a couple stretches in the instructional league, and they both throw really hard. I asked Felipe yesterday, who throws harder? He tapped his chest, he said, me.
Well, there's 100.
I'd like to see them both in a snowball fight.
Better be soft powder. Jose Lobaton from the right side this year. 1 for 7.
Felipe's fastball averaging 97.3 miles an hour this year. It was 95 last year, so 2 miles an hour faster.
And a bouncer as he overpowers Lobaton, and doing it himself, John Jaso. So against the left-hander, here comes Chris Izey.
And when you look at Rivero's numbers, they're staggering. 0.87 ERA, 176 average against, 22 strikeouts, just 4 walks. 4 walks. That was always the thing that haunted him. And you remember he had the reverse splits. He had trouble getting lefties out his last year as a National. That's not a problem anymore for him.
Fastball rides up, and Heisey takes it. Chris 1 for 1 with an RBI against Felipe career. And this one to center for McCutchen. Pirates superior pitching tonight, no doubt about it. Cole and now Rivera.
Yeah, Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers donate $250 to Children's National Health System for each of the first 200 home runs the Nats hit this season. Lexus, experience amazing.
Trey Turner. One for one against Felipe. On the night, 0 for 3. Fly ball, strikeout, grounder.
You know, everyone's saying, you know, the Nats could use Felipe Rivera. You see it all over the place. And that's true enough, but they needed Mark Melancon last year, and whatever it took to get that guy, I mean, you had to make that move.
Pretty quick inning. Couple of ground balls and a routine fly. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. It's all Bucks in game 2.
We promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Go back to the 6th inning. Josh Bell gone. His 8th of the year, a couple of runners aboard. Remember, it was a close ball game, like 0-0 close, pitcher's duel, and then this gave the Pirates a 3-0 lead. And no doubter in the bleachers here in right. So a pair of threes in the 6th and the 7th. It's 6-1 Pirates.
Yeah, long road back for the Nats. First order of business, welcome Matt Grace back to the big leagues. Got on the bus this afternoon, came over with a couple of his teammates after being recalled from Syracuse when they put Joe Blanton on the DL. They shut Joe down for a while, let him feel better, get 100%. Hopefully better days ahead for him. And Matt Grace, the shuttle guy between here and AAA right now.
Yeah, he did some frequent flyer miles. You got to have a free ticket by now. He'll take it. He's back in the big leagues. That's all that matters. Fastball 90, slider 82, 2 pitches.
Switch hitting infielder Alan Hansen about to get a pinch hitting appearance. And that ball ripped to the left side. Nice big hop for Turner. Uh-oh. Throws it away. Ryan Zimmerman couldn't get it. That'll be Trey Turner's 2nd error of the night.
He got the Sunday hop, and then maybe that extra shuffle caused him to rush with Ngope's speed. He launched it.
I'd rather see a guy miss like that on the throw than throw it short, though.
Hansen 0 for 1 last night as a pinch hitter. 2 for 9 with an RBI for Pittsburgh. So he's hitting for Felipe Rivero, who threw 8 pitches, 5 strikes in that 8th inning.
Whoa, that's a big time cross him up right there. That was a strike, and Jose Lobaton was expecting off speed. Watch, he's expecting off speed.
Wow.
You can hurt somebody like that, especially when you're expecting soft and it's a heater.
Breaking ball hit the other way. Zimmerman a dive. Grace to the bag. Out. The call by Bill Welke. And then Grace pops up and checks the runner at third.
A great effort by both guys on this play. I think Matt Grace was just a hair late getting over there. And are the Pirates going to look at this? Watch Grace just hesitate for a second, and that was the difference in why he had to dive. But you like the makeup speed and the effort that he showed right there. So great play by Ryan Zimmerman, and a great effort by Matt Grace, risking life and limb to tag the bag with his glove. You get your hand stepped on right there. And he,
Some kind of call over there by Bill Welke with things moving very fast.
It looked like his glove bounced up. But a great effort nonetheless.
Top of the order, Adam Frazier again. He's had a good series. 4 for 9, an RBI, a run scored. And he'll hit one out to center. Goodwin on the run. Runner went back to tag. On target throw and out at the plate. Fantastic one hop, right on the money throw by Brian Goodwin.
Well, a good gamble by the Pirates, but watch Goodwin get rid of it real quick, right on the money, over the top. The throw stayed true. One hopper, nicely done.
Ninth inning. This is really one of the few games of the year where they've been behind all night, really haven't had a chance to win a game. But we'll see as Juan Nicasio will take over here, top 9. Johnny Holiday, Ray Knight ahead. No, not on the Masson houseboat. He'll be back in the studio at an undisclosed location with the Nats Extra Postgame Show presented by WB Mason when this one's over.
Probably sleeping right there tonight. Wake up, day game. Paddle ashore, right?
Hey, I'm just glad to see several years later the Juan Nicasio still doing well, pitching in the big leagues after that amazing line drive that got him off the bat of Ian Desmond in Colorado. That was such a scary moment for everybody with the Rockies. A lot of people with the Nats. I know Ian took it hard when that happened, and good to see Juan Nicasio still doing his thing.
That was scary. It wasn't the line drive, it was how he landed, if you remember right. Fastball still fast, 95 miles an hour, slider 88. 2 pitches.
Jason Worth 0 for 3 tonight. That's not able to generate anything really against Garrett Cole, who was outstanding over 7 innings and 98 pitches.
Some nights you just got to tip your cap. That's called baseball, and it's called the 162 game schedule. Garrett Cole was good tonight.
Yes, he was. Oh, 2 to Worth. Fastball up, be laid off. So the Mets lost again today. Atlanta ahead at home 8-3 over Toronto. Phillies getting blasted at Texas. And the Marlins lost. So as far as the division, nobody really making any kind of move, even on nights when the Nats drop one here and there. And that's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Some hitters trying to salvage a thing or two from this one tonight. That's up and in, 3-2.
Yeah, load them up, see what happens. Who knows?
Leadoff walk, the last thing anybody in the third base dugout wanted. Bryce Harper, 1 for 2 career against Juan Nicasio.
Five-run lead, got to throw strikes, man. I mean, the quickest way for a good offensive ball club to get back in the game is throwing ball 1 and walking guys, and that's what Francisco Cervelli's saying right now. Hey, let's go. There's times when you go out there as a catcher and you kind of massage your guy along, especially in big situations. You know, the crowd's into it. You say, hey, you're okay. You know, but when you're up by 5, that's a hey, let's go. I need you in the strike zone right now.
Up and away as that fastball keeps sailing on him. And who knows, they may have to get Tony Watson up at some point here in the 9th inning. He gets the borderline call there. 2-1.
I like to see a far one right here. I don't know about you.
Always ready for that.
Yeah.
2-1. Outside edge.
I don't think Bryce liked the call, but it looked like paint here from Juan Nicasio. Maybe it was a little off.
I think I'm sensing a pattern on these pitches.
Away?
Yeah. $18,803 paid tonight here in Pittsburgh. Many have left with their team on top by 5. Three and 2 on a pitch outside.
You got to throw a strike here. You can't walk the first 2 guys with a 5-run lead.
Harper gashes one to right, and it's right at Danny Ortiz. Worth back to the bag, 1 out. Hard to remember a game this year when Worth, Harper, and Zimmerman all went hitless. Ryan will try to get one here.
Yeah, mistake by Nicasio. That was supposed to be away, and Bryce Harper jumped all over it. Pounces on this line drive. He's wishing he could have got that in the air, but a pretty good at bat by Bryce Harper. A little higher launch angle, and that's in the bleachers. Yeah, you should be able to set your bat like a driver for launch angle. You know, just kind of click the barrel around when you're going for a fly ball.
Well, evidently Ryan Zimmerman's been having a whole lot of fun with reporters and launch angle lately, telling them he's been working with lasers and computers and all this stuff, and everybody wants to make a big story out of Ryan launching the ball more than he did last year. And I'm with him and everybody else who knows that the reason Ryan's doing what he's doing is because he's healthy. The guy's been beat up for 3 years.
He does look like he's swinging up a little more to me, though. On the low pitch, I should say, or the strike. He's getting on top of the high pitch away.
You know, but you know this, FP, you know, players could ask questions about things they never even think about during the course of a ball game.
And when you're going well, you don't want to think.
Exactly.
If a reporter asks you about launch angle, maybe you are working on it, but I ain't telling you. Just making something up. Because now I start thinking, and once I start thinking, it's not a good thing.
1-1, way inside. That'll turn him around.
But, you know, if you need to move a runner, you just couple clicks on the barrel for a fade. You want to pull the ball, you do it the other way. So the sweet spot's kind of facing how he wants. I'm saying I got something. I'm going to start at my own bat company. Adjustable bats. You can set the launch angle right on it. Just click it to 18 degrees.
2-2.
Somebody, a reporter, asked Daniel Murphy in his locker today, what's more important, launch angle or exit velocity?
Really?
And the reporter thought it was launch angle. And then Daniel Murphy said something like, "I'll get back to you." But I think it's a combination of both.
2-2 with 1 out. Zimmerman high in the air to center for McCutchen. Well, Daniel Murphy, who's coming up, has the only hit among the big four tonight. Daniel Murphy against Juan Nicasio, career 0 for 5. A couple of walks. And the Pirates trying to draw even in the series. Nats would look to Tanner Roark tomorrow to take 2 out of 3. But another out to get for Nicasio. Target away by Cervelli. They pitched Murphy away a lot in this series as well.
What's weird about that? The Pirates over the years have pounded the Nationals in. They've even hit a few hitters. And that's their philosophy through the minor leagues. They teach all their guys in to win. They're not afraid to hit guys. You know, hey, we're going to pitch in. If one gets away, it gets away. You haven't seen too many pitches into Ryan Zimmerman, Bryce Harper, or Daniel Murphy in the first 2 games.
Yep, not at all. Yeah, up and away. And the count's 1-2. Pirates trying to go over 500 at home. In fact, starting last night, they're in a stretch where they'll play 12 of 16 here. So they're hoping to get things right in their own ballpark. Coming into this series, they'd only played 15 here and 23 on the road. 1-2 to Daniel Murphy.
Grinding.
Yeah, he's not going without a fight.
No. Every at bat is like the last at bat Daniel Murphy will ever have. And I love it.
Anthony Rendon hoping for one more chance. Worth at first, 2 outs. Yeah, they don't shut down the computer in that hitter's brain until the ball game's over. And then it probably stays on for a while to process it all for the next day.
Coming in.
2-2.
We saw it all last year. That's the last place I'd ever pitch Daniel Murphy. So pitcher after pitcher and catcher after catcher set up behind Daniel Murphy down and in, and everybody leave it just out over the plate enough for him to do damage. You haven't seen a lot of that this year based on his success in last year. So they're, hey, let's give him his singles to left or up the middle. But we don't want to test him in because that's where he can shoot you out of the yard. Spoil it.
All right, that's 8.
Waste it. There was one in. The one he pulled down the line was off the plate in, actually.
And Murphy hits one fair on the 9th pitch of the at-bat. And at 10:08, the Pirates in 3 hours and 3 minutes beat the Nationals. One of the best pitching performances against our ball club by anybody this year. Hats off to Garrett Cole.